Hello everyone, this is Joe Foley. I am a freelance trumpet artist in the Boston, Massachusetts area, and I'm very excited to be working with my colleagues Ben Wright, Tom Siders, and David Krause at the New England Virtual Trumpet Seminar this summer. I just wanted to make a short video today to talk about warming up. At the seminar, we're going to each take turns going through our individual warm-ups, but I thought I could give you a little sneak preview of some of the things that I think make up a good routine or warm-up. Like I said, I'm a freelance artist, so though I play in several different orchestras, I still don't know what every day is going to bring. So because of that, I want to be as ready for as many possibilities as possible. When you're playing a brass instrument, as you all well know, it's almost like we have to learn to play every day. I remember Armando Gatalla saying that, if you don't like doing the same thing every day, you shouldn't play the trumpet. So in a routine, I think you want to do a couple things. One is you want to reinforce really positive habits. You want to reinforce the things that you think and know make you a better player. Another thing that's important is you want to cover as many aspects of playing as you can in a concise period of time. It has to be concise because you want to make sure that you can cover all these things every day. You don't want to leave them out. So for me, when I start a routine, I will begin just by trying to take a minute or two without playing, just to sit and really focus on what I'm trying to get out of this session. I'll take a few deep breaths, maybe things that I have coming up, things I want to focus on, but also just really get excited about playing the trumpet and what makes me sound good. The first thing that I like to do is just kind of get the air spinning a little bit. I will play a little bit of mouthpiece. When I was in college, I would do a very large mouthpiece routine, and I found by playing too much mouthpiece, it made me too stiff when I was trying to play. So I will take the mouthpiece out, buzz for anywhere from maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Nothing spectacular, just trying to make sure my lips are moving easily. And then from there, transfer that over onto the trumpet. I start with just sort of a real basic noodle. Nothing fancy. I use something that's sort of taken out of this book. This is Foundational Method for Trumpet, Jay Rosetto. Many of you may not know that, but that's quite a good book. Has some nice alternative warm-ups. And I do a variation of one of these studies he does. So something along these lines. Again, just trying to spin air. Not a lot of air, but spinning it. And I'll do that for a minute or so. Just trying to get everything really moving in a positive way. From there, I will do a little bit of lip bending to make sure that my lip is relaxed when I'm playing. I did a lot of lip bending, like flexibilities or buzzing when I was younger. And I was doing it so aggressively that I found that it was actually making me, again, too stiff. So when I do the lip bending, it's very gentle. Ensuring that I'm not forcing anything when I start my day. From there, like a lot of people, I move into the Chickowitz flow studies. I've played these for years, really enjoy them. If you don't have the book, there it is. It's a good one. And I'll go through several keys. I have a slight variation I do on this. So I add a little lip slur, a little bit of articulation in. Again, trying to make it concise and get through a lot of things in a short period of time. From there, I move on to a little bit of James Stamp. I go down to the bottom of the register. My stamp book is somewhere in the hinterlands, and it's probably in 27 pieces. I did James Stamp religiously through college, but when I did it, I was doing it with so much tension in my playing that I literally didn't do stamp for about 10 years. And then one day I decided, I'd like to come back to this. I think I'm playing a little bit better. And I've added it in. What I do is I focus more on the pedal tones and expanding my range. So I'll do a little bit of stamp with some pedal tones, trying to gradually build into the upper register, and then go into another Chickowitz exercise, again starting in the low register, going to the middle register, and then the high register. And that last little bit, I think, is courtesy of Flexus, Laurie Frink. From there, I moved to a little bit of Clark studies, rocking the old school Clark here. This is where I start adding a little bit of articulation, and this is, again, sort of my variation on Clark 2. So I'll go through some different keys, different registers, but again, mostly focusing on flow and just adding a little bit of articulation into that. From there, I go into practicing my scales and arpeggios. Because we're trying to do this in a concise manner, I'll only do so many scales a day. Usually I pick 4 scales, and I'll talk about that more at another time, but I'll pick 4 scales and try to cover a bunch of range and articulation when I'm doing it. Kind of a variation on Schlossberg, one of the great standard trumpet books. So I'll just pick a key, usually starting in the low register, and play a 2-octave scale, but working on my articulations. And I'll go through working from the lowest notes that I can play up to the highest notes I can play. So it's very common when I play that. Maybe I'll go up to easily a high F, high G, sometimes above that, just because, again, I don't know what's going to be coming up that day for me. Whatever keys I pick, I'll take those and I'll do those in arpeggio form as well. And I'll work up and down playing different arpeggios. At this point, I start adding in a little bit of Schubert type practice. Again, one of the great books. I know Tom Siders will love to talk about Schubert. It's the great target practice book. I always say, if I found the genie in the bottle on the beach, one of my 3 wishes would be that somebody would chain me to a practice room in college with the Schubert book, because that was all the stuff I was terrible at. So anyways, I start adding that in at this point, and I do some tonguing exercise. I didn't bring my Goldman practical studies, but I like to play the first study out of Goldman in different registers. And what I did there was played it all K tongue, all T tongue, backwards double tongue, kutu kutu and tuku tuku. From there, I start going into Schubert type repetitions of whatever repertoire I have coming up. Last I don't know, February, I guess, I played Ravel Piano Concerto. So every day the routine was ending with Ravel Piano Concerto. If I have something coming up where it's Alpine Symphony, and I have to play that, a lot of times I'd be practicing that very soft E-flat scale at the end of the piece. So I hope that gives you some ideas on warming up. I'm really looking forward to seeing all of you this summer. I'm really looking forward to this, and I can't wait. Thanks very much.